Somewhere right now, a founder is betting everything on a vision nobody else can see yet. A CEO is making one call that changes everything. And a leader is finally stepping into who they were always meant to be. The difference between those who dream it and those who build it? They found the right ingredients. I'm Julie Riga. This is Stay on Course Ingredients for Success, and you just pulled up a seat at the right table.
Stay on course, find the ingredients inside of you. A little courage, a little grace, the legacy you leave is the life you choose. Stay on course, every story's got a recipe. So pull up a seat, take your place, and cook up who you're meant to be.
Welcome everyone to the next edition of the Stay on Course podcast. Today I have Mila Snider, a South Florida real estate advisor with LAER Realty Partners Bowen. Mila helps buyers, sellers, investors, and relocating families navigate both coasts of Florida with confidence, care, and clear communication. Mila knows what it feels like to make a big move after coming to the United States and spending 5 very cold years in Vermont. She packed her belongings into her car, drove straight to Florida, and never looked back. And today, she uses that personal experience along with her knowledge of both the Sunrise Coast and the Sunset Coast to help clients choose not just the right home, but the right lifestyle. Mila, welcome to the Stay on Course podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Julie. Thank you for having me.
I love it. Before we get started, I ask all of my guests, what is your favorite food?
Well, I am an American made in Ukraine. And I was born, raised, and grew up in Ukraine. And of course, Ukrainian cuisine is still my favorite. But as an American, I would say it's probably steak. And I'm not talking about a piece of meat. I'm talking about seasoning. My husband and I, we just recently discovered the seasoning. It's called Chicago steak seasoning.
Oh.
All you need, just a good piece of meat, Chicago seasoning, and grill. Try, you'll never regret.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. I love a good steak. I think it is so American. It's so very American. So I would love to hear more about your story, your Florida story. How did you get here, Mila?
Very simple. You know, Florida is just amazing. I did visit once, one town, and I said, I want to be here. I want to be in this warm weather, in this sunshine state. And I just simply, over a decade ago, I packed my car with my personal belongings only, drove all the way down and started all over and never regretted even for one single day since then. And to be honest with you, I really didn't know Florida that much at that time. I just knew that, oh yeah, it's sunshine, it's warm, it's the ocean. And I had no idea that Florida offers so many different lifestyles and opportunities. That's why now, as real estate agent, I help my clients explore the best of both coasts, East and West, sunrise and sunset, so they can find the lifestyle that fits them best, not just a place to live.
I love that. So you're specializing in both coasts. Let's take one coast at a time. Tell us about the Sunrise Coast first, and then let's talk about the Sunset Coast.
Sunrise is Palm Beach, Martin, and St. Lucie County. And Sunset is Sarasota, DeSoto, and Charlotte County.
Awesome. And so what should we be looking out for the sunrise communities? I know they're building a lot in West Palm Beach and the Palm Beaches. This is like the hot place to be right now. Tell us a little bit from your perspective, what what people should be looking out for, what we should be thinking about?
Obviously, it's the same weather, right? But different lifestyles. And the only reason I know, and the only reason I started to work on both sides, because we do own homes in both coasts. And when I discovered more opportunities besides just Palm Beach, besides just sunrise, then I decided that I need to announce it to the world, to all my people. I would say price is slightly different, lifestyle is different, and beaches are different. One is the ocean, the other is Gulf of America. And depends what you like, sunrise or sunset. You know what we found out with my husband? We do like the beach, right? And we like to watch sunrise and we like to watch sunset. But for sunset, it's a little bit, I apologize. For sunrise, it's a little bit more complicated because you have to get up early before work. You know, most of the time we cannot find this time. But for sunset, it's after work. You definitely can afford it. So we see sunset more often than we see sunrise.
It's true. And I love, like, because I've visited the Sunset Coast, and there is like a ritual to it. There's a lot of people out on the beach, and it's like a thing every day.
Yeah, approximately 15-20 minutes before the sunset, I don't think you will be able to find a parking spot.
It's really fun. I mean, there's something to be said for both coasts, I think. And a lot of people right now, Mila, are coming from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, the tri-state area. They all want to be in Florida, So now with you, they get to have the opportunity to explore both the East Coast and the West Coast of Florida. I don't think a lot of realtors are doing this right now.
Right. And, this allows me to guide people with real-time knowledge from both sides of the state. And just last month, I helped a family from New England by introducing to the advantages of both coasts. And together we found the right fit, not just financially, but for their lifestyle too. And it was not where they initially started their search. So I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When you're from the north, you don't know what's here until you get here and you spend a little bit of time, or you have a guide helping you figure out, do you want to live on the East Coast? What does that mean for you? Or do you want to live on the West Coast? I live on the East Coast, and I tell people that this is the best place. But then I have people that are coming from the north that I know that are my friends that want to live on the West Coast because they've been to Sarasota, they've been to Clearwater, and it's just beautiful there. So it's a tough call.
So true. Yes, it is. But in order to make a decision, you need to be introduced. And I'm here for you.
Awesome. Well, we know that buying and selling a home is more complicated than looking at homes online. Tell us a little bit about, what people should be doing if they're first looking for a house.
I highly recommend to connect with real estate agent. And even if it's not me, it doesn't matter. You need somebody, you need a professional who will walk you through the details. There's so many things in new things in real estate, and constantly updating new laws, new contracts, new market trend. It's impossible to know, right? It's like when you go to a doctor, you don't go to a therapist or you don't go online to treat yourself, right? You may discover a little bit, but eventually you go to a professional. And there's so many details which important to follow, and missing one thing can, it's important to keep money safe, not lose opportunity, don't lose your time. Just give it to the professional and let that professional take all worries away from you.
Yeah. And when I think about all the times I've bought and sold homes, it kind of all comes down to this. And I always tell people it's location, location, location. It is really about the location of the home because all these other things are somewhat changeable. You can fix the inside of the house, you can fix the bathroom, the kitchen, you can build things, right? But you can't change the location once you buy the house. And I think that if you're happy with the basic structure of the house and the location of the house, those are the top priorities, at least for me as a buyer. And I bought a lot of homes, but what I love about what you're doing is you're able to share with them a variety of different locations, and but by yourself. Like if you're just trying to find a home by yourself, you can't do that.
Right. Yeah. And to be honest with you, a lot of people think that real estate agent job is to show homes. Yes, it is a part of the job. But if you have a real estate agent who just shows homes and think this is it, then you're probably in the wrong direction. It's a door opener. Honestly, real job for real estate agent starts when you found a home. We real estate agents, we put all people together, and there's a lot of people involved in this transaction. It's a lender, it's inspector, it's title company, it's an attorney. There's a lot of, and we keep all together. We do work for you.
I love it. And so, Mila, the podcast is called Stay on Course Ingredients for Success. And I know that you have your own special way of working with people. I'd love to hear about your ingredients for success while you're working with your clients.
Yes, it's a very good question. And there's, of course, tons of ingredients. I would underline probably three the most important, three the most I found valuable, because we can talk about it nonstop, of course. Discipline. Discipline is one of the most important qualities in real estate, and it's often the part that client never sees. It's not flashy, it's quiet, it happens behind the scene, and it happens every single day. And it's time management. You know, I'm my own boss, and managing my time well, staying organized is very important. It also means communicating with everybody. It's committing to continuing education. Our industry, as I mentioned before, has a lot of updates regularly, and staying informed allows me to provide the best advice and service. And of course, keeping every transaction moving forward. It means paying attention to important days, and missing one detail can cost time, money, and even opportunities. Second ingredient, which is not less important, is accountability. And it means showing up, following through, and communicating constantly, whether I have good news, bad news, or simply no news. People deserve an update, and silence creates anxiety, uncertainty, and unnecessary stress. I've seen many agents avoid difficult conversations because they don't have the answer someone wants to hear. I do the opposite. I'm proactive. I give heads up to prepare for all scenarios, and I definitely stay present. I communicate, and I communicate honestly, and support you every step of the way. You will never feel alone.
Yeah, and there's a lot here. They say that moving is one of the most stressful life events you could possibly have.
That's true. And for a lot of people, it's first of all, it's a very expensive transaction, right? Purchase. It's not like you go and buy shoes. When you go and buy shoes, you still make a choice, right? And for a lot of people, it's probably the only purchase in their life. Of course, it's very stressful, and they want somebody to hold their hand through the
Yes.
process.
Oh my gosh, Mila, I remember, I'll never forget like I bought and sold a bunch of houses, but the paperwork. Oh my gosh, especially at closing, I was like, are they serious with this? I thought it was a joke, you know? There was over 100 pages and like 100 signatures or something like this. It was crazy. And I could just remember how much I relied on my real estate agent to help me through the process.
There's a lot to learn, there's a lot to know. And I'm actually a Florida director, and I do go to all the meetings in Orlando and Tallahassee, and I hear all the updates from the first source. Very important to know all the forms we have. Let me just give you an example. I don't remember, maybe it was 4 years ago. I had a couple who successful, very happy. They purchased a home, and here's the day to move in, right? Everybody signed everything, and they're going back to the house. And the current owner have not moved their stuff yet. They were in process, and my people are waiting and waiting, hour, 2, 3, and it's getting a little bit more complicated. Obviously, everybody is rushing, and they broke a front door
Oh, gosh.
by accident, obviously moving the stuff, right? And they're like, "Oh, don't worry, the current owner, we will fix it." Nobody will fix it unless you sign a document. And I was there for them, and we did, and we legalized everything. And even with the signed document, it still took us about 6 months to get it fixed.
Wow.
Otherwise, it would be their expense. And, my job here is also to protect your money.
I love that.
My commitment does not end at the closing table. I'm here way before the transaction, obviously during the transaction, and after the transaction is completed. My goal is not just help someone buy, sell, rent a house. It's build a lifelong relationship based on trust, honestly, and reliability. You know what they say? Your brand is not your logo or your headshot. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room.
I love that. It's true. It's true. And your ingredients for success will be those things that people talk about. Mila, what's the last ingredient? You said there were 3. I think we got 2 so far.
Yeah, it's balance. You can, how do I put it? You cannot pour from an empty cup. And I do follow the rule of 5 F's. It's finance, family, fitness, fun, and faith. And I make room for all of it. Between my husband and I, we have 4 daughters. They all live in different states. We visit them. We cruise, we golf, we play pickleball, we go to church, we party, and we, of course, work a lot and hard.
Which is like what we all do. Like we all strive to have a balanced life.
Helping people with their real estate needs, I also want them to find balance in their new chapter as well.
Yeah, I think it's so important. I think like what I was thinking is that you're the model for the people that are now buying, because really when you buy a house, it's a new chapter, right? You start a new chapter of your life. And when you start a new chapter of your life, you want to make sure that you have balance, that you have community, that you have a faith-based community, you have friends, and you have activities that will help you, first of all, stay active and young, but also just overall really add to the enjoyment of your life.
Right. We buy house not to be stressed. We buy house to enjoy the life.
Yeah. And you're helping people with this every day. It's very exciting.
It is. I'm excited for every single person. And I tell everybody, I'm here not for the transaction. I'm here to make you happy. If you're happy, you will come back. If you're not, you'll give me a bad review, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, this is true. And, you know, where you live is one of the most important decisions of your life. And so having a trusted advisor like you, Mila, to help somebody go through that very stressful process and do it with grace and ease, I mean, there is no better opportunity. So, what would you like to say in closing to people that are listening if they're on the fence about working with you here in the state of Florida?
Call me anytime. You will never feel alone. Doesn't matter we are under contract or you're just getting ready or maybe in not even near future. I'm here for you to help, to explain, and get you prepared.
Amazing. Mila, where can people find you?
Any social media, and probably the easiest way, just type "The Future is Brighter" with Mila Snider and it will pop up.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you want to leave people with your email address or phone number so they can reach out to you directly?
My phone number is 561-727-9835.
Thank you, Mila, for being a guest on the Stay on Course podcast.
Thank you, Julie, for having me.